Guys, let's talk about this Kanye West situation. He's trending on Twitter. He's trending on Instagram. He's trending on every platform that ever existed because he wore this little hoodie. Let's look at the picture. White Lives Matter. I don't know where. Okay, he wore it at the Yeezy Season 9 presentation in Paris. He was, in fact, not alone. Here's our girl Candy O, also wearing her White Lives Matter sweatshirt in the white edition, in case you didn't want the black one. And everybody's going insane because of it. Here's a hate comment from Jameel Hill. So many folks are trying to excuse Kanye wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt as just a troll move or marketing. Maybe it is, but it's a dangerously dumb message to send for someone with his massive platform. I've been off, dude, but y'all go ahead labeling his foolishness as genius. 15,000 likes on this. Let's talk about what might possess somebody to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt. I saw it and I was like, okay, Kanye wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Am I surprised by this? No. Do I think there's something particularly valid about doing something like this? No, but I totally get it. Where you create a culture, you will create a counterculture. And if the culture now is Black Lives Matter and F white people and they're stupid and they have power and privilege, guess what you create? A White Lives Matter t-shirt that Kanye West wears because he's a particularly, salacious, sensational person. We've known that. He's been that way since he started his career and started in this business. And so is Candace. And that's not to knock them at all. I don't really see a massive problem with this. It's going to spark a conversation, and it's probably a conversation that needs to be had. Whether or not this is the light that it needs to be had in, arguing and haggling over sweatshirts, no. But where you create a Black Lives Matter, you're going to create a White Lives Matter. And Jameel Hill says in this tweet, it's a dangerously dumb message. What's dangerously dumb about saying white people's lives matter? Como se dice, don't understand. You want to substantiate that? You want to explain what is dangerously dumb about saying something like that? And if it's dangerously dumb to say that about white people, why is it not the same to say it about black people? Why is it that we could hear people say Black Lives Matter, put it on their car, put it outside their business, wearing it on t-shirts, tattooing it on their forehead for the past, 5 years now, and that's not dangerously dumb. That's not a crazy message to hear. That's not something that is harmful that we need to take off the internet. But saying it in reverse for white people is. Please explain. I would love to see another tweet of you explaining that worldview. And they probably won't because it doesn't hold up. It's always a one-way street. Like I said before in the show, black people can do whatever they want and white people have to sit and take it. But when the wrong black people do it, like Candace Owens and Kanye, suddenly we have a problem. And as much as I'm not going to go around wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, I totally understand why they do it. And it points out what is a discussion, as I said before, that needs to be had. What's so wrong with two black people wearing these White Lives Matter t-shirts? What are you going to tell them? You going to tell them they're filled with white pride and white supremacy, two fully black people wearing these sweatshirts to an event of their own, to something that he's established himself, a business that he's created himself, a black-owned business? Are you going to tell him what he's wearing is problematic and that he shouldn't be able to wear it? You can try, but you'll have no argument to stand on because of his skin color. And that's the environment that you created. That's the culture that you created. Safeguarding black people from any form of criticism. And to see two black people flip it on its head and use it against you, I think is beautiful.
I'm going to give you another ovation there. Yeah. I mean, I kept thinking of points to say as you're talking, and then you kept saying it. So, like how the different rules apply and how they flipped it on its head. So, yeah, I mean, this is just another case of exposing their logic. I when you asked me, like, as a white person, how do I feel about this? Mm-hmm. My mind immediately went to like the same situation we covered a couple weeks ago with Ron DeSantis sending illegal immigrants to DC to kind of flip their logic on its head, and they support these policies that are creating the open borders. And so, hey, look, we're going to send you to deal with those consequences. And we talked about whether that was something acceptable because is it the most tasteful maneuver to do ever?
Right. No.
Probably not. But is it effective in exposing the lunacy of their logic? Yes. And so the more I think about this, the more I'm like, it's kind of based that Kanye put this shirt on because he's kind of in that category now of he's been so outspoken and done so much that it's like he's uncancelable because he just lives in being canceled world.
Yeah.
And that's something to be said for being unapologetic. Check the sign of the show. That when you are your honest self. You don't have to worry about playing to anyone's expectations of how you should speak or behave or what you should wear. And so, and if you want to make a point, he made it. And I actually think it's ingenious, because this whole edifice that the narrative is built on, that different rules should apply to different people, is racist. And so for Kanye to just take a torpedo and shoot it right at that, I'm like all for it, baby.
Do it all over again. And here's another tweet in response to this. Kanye West making black models wear, quote, "White Lives Matter," end quote, shirts is a culmination of his anti-blackness and his immersion in white supremacy ideologies and methods. Disgusting. Who's to say that this woman, or whoever this model is being forced to wear that? What an asinine just assumption for you to make. Why are you making the association of black people being made to wear something? You don't think they have a mind of their own? You don't think they get to decide what shirts they put on and what they model and how they walk and what they wear? You don't think this model decided whether or not to take this job, decided whether or not they support the ideologies of Kanye West and what he wanted to wear? Or do you think black models are incapable of making a decision like that? I love things like this when they happen, because they flip the narrative on these people's heads, and they're forced to stand by some of the statements that they've made. If you think White Lives Matter is unacceptable, then tell me why Black Lives Matter is. Tell me why we're able to have an entire organization with that name. Tell me why we went through months and months of riots in 2020 of people screaming Black Lives Matter while setting black businesses on fire, killing black individuals, not doing a single damn thing for the black community, not helping us at all, but running with the name Black Lives Matter. Tell me why that's okay. And if it's not okay when white people do it, it sure as hell is not okay when black people do it. So come on now. I'm starting to love this more and more. I was a little iffy on it when I saw it for the first time, and now I'm seeing some of the responses, and I'm like, you know what? We're exposing something here. No, Kanye, don't wear the White Lives Matter shirt as a fashion statement, Kanye. Waking up as a Kanye fan in 2020 and opening up Twitter, having to drink because he's wearing these shirts.
Let's be honest. If you made it to 2022 as a Kanye fan, then you stuck around through some stuff.
Yeah, you saw some stuff.
Yeah. So if this is the straw that broke the camel's back, wow.
Yeah. Apparently Jaden Smith was there. He tweeted out Black Lives Matter. I had to dip, LOL. And that's fine. Guess what? Because things are going to split, and you're going to find people who don't support your message, and you'll find people who do. And Kanye has this, and he's standing by it. And you know what? All the better that he invited Candace Owens to do the same. Somebody tweeted out, Kanye might finally force the media to say that all lives matter.
This is N Wokeness account on Twitter. I just started following him. He does some cool stuff. I mean, if it's a guy, it might be a girl.
Yeah.
So,
might be a girl. We don't want to misgender. We do not misgender on this podcast. But yeah, Kanye actually might force somebody to say all lives matter. Because what are you going to say in response to this? No, white lives don't matter. Just the black lives do. Take it back. Take off the white part and put black on it, and forget all the other people. Forget the Asians and the Hispanics and the white people. It's Black Lives Matter. That's always what it's going to be.
It's exposing the logic that we live in, which is different rules for different categories of people based on skin color. It's the opposite of, and we go over this over and over again, but this ideology has become so dominant in our society that it's how young people are being trained and indoctrinated to think that you should look at the world through the lens of oppression, just like we saw with Dr. Lester on the Dr. Phil episode. It was all, hey, you don't understand why you should be offended by this. You don't understand why there's oppression dynamics at work in this, and it's all about this like fundamentally Marxist worldview where it's all about the oppression Olympics. And before that we had equality. We had, and did we always live up to those values? Of course not. But it was a system through which the most successful civilization flourished, and the most successful country ever in world history flourished and was built. And we should go back to trying to live up to those ideals rather than adopting a new worldview that all it can do is criticize and take down this racist system and interpret everything. And if you're not thinking the way that we think, then you're not sufficiently enlightened, and you're just you're still holding up the old power system, and it's all about power systems and oppression dynamics. It's like, no, like, screw that. Put on the White Lives Matter shirt. Let's torpedo this thing.
If it takes wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt to bring this conversation to the forefront, then by all means do it. And those are our thoughts on Kanye and Candace wearing White Lives Matter sweatshirts.